Hi, chat. How we doing tonight? Welcome in, everyone. Happy Monday to you. Hopefully you have a good start to your week. Quiet start to stream tonight. Hi, Cosmic. Welcome. Hello, Will. Nice. Did you get them cut short or? Whatever it is, I hope you like what they did. Yeah, I was just sort of thinking about how things irritate me that way just before stream. I ended up rolling my sleeves up one more time. I cannot stand constrictive clothing, and I don't mind the hair touching my neck and shoulders, obviously. It's a little irritating when it locks your head into the chair and you're like, okay, I need to move forward so I can move my head forward. But quite honestly, like, we don't have supercuts around here, but the closest thing we have to, like, a supercuts around here is, like, a $20 deal. And then, you know, you're at least $5-10 into tip after that. And I'm just like, this isn't worth it. Uh-oh. I forgot to get new half and half. Is this still usable? Hi, Nan Reader. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Happy Monday to you. Cheers. Let's get ourselves a fresh rag here since I'm already sweating. Alright, where do we start with tonight? I think we're gonna do the balls first. So let's pull this rice out that I absolutely stored the absolutely worst way possible for storing rice. You should never store rice in bulk. It should also always be like thin sheets so that it cools down properly. What? Huh. Why don't you try that again, Blue Moon? Not sure what's going on there, Blue Moon. Have you changed your name or something recently? Because it's only showing you as having a couple minutes watched and 50 sprinkles at this point. I'm confused what's going on there. I did look up blue. I searched blue. And you're the only blue moon in the list along that line. Yeah, that's weird. I wish there was a good way that I could research some of this stuff. They don't really have much of an option for me to look up the past history here. The bot is acting like you haven't... Like, I know your name and I've seen you in chat for ages. But the bot's acting like it's the first time you've been here. I'm hoping on changing out this bot, by the way, chat. Which, at the very least, is going to require some changes to Sprinkles. We'll see how that works out. Welcome in, Froggy. Let's see here. How are we gonna go about this? I need to figure out what I want to put these on to put them into probably the fridge or the freezer. To a degree, Cosmic. We'll see. Like, I definitely still want to have the equivalent of Sprinkles, but I'm coming up against other things. Like, I'm now multi-streaming on YouTube, and YouTube by far does not have as near developed API for streaming as Twitch does. Like, I can't even figure out, like, the only reason that I can tell someone is in chat on YouTube is they post a message, really. They have some stats of their own on the back end, but there's no way for me to pull that into a bot or my own scripts. Yeah, I've actually been working on a lot of things in the background ever since I got back to TwitchCon. So many ideas, so many things I want to do, but at the same time, it's always like you don't want to like say too much whether it's going to work or not until you get it working. I mean, I'm not even really, like, the stuff I'm changing, I don't know if it even really changes that much for chat. Oh, well. So I'm going to ice cream scoop balls of risotto from last night's stream. And it's partly that we don't know what will actually work for chat. Because, on one hand, yeah, there's certain things that's obvious, but, like, I spent a lot of time on giving chat the option to change camera views. And no. Why would you be in trouble? Michael, to a degree, like, there's a lot of things that are like that in the streamer world. Like, there's a fair number of streamers I see be successful right off, and then spend a ton of money on, like, high-end, like, cameras, when we still, like, we just now got the chance to stream at 1440p. Cosmic. Nah, you're fine. There's more risotto left over here than I thought. Like, this is a lot of... You mean yesterday, Michael? Four. That's all I'm doing, whether I have more cheese than that or not. Come on, separate plastic. You're working slowly. Mozzarella balls. In the center. And work it back around. Butt it back up. I'm gonna look into it, Blue Moon, after stream. It was great, Penta. I mean, I seem to always have some frustrations while I'm there, but overall it was a great event. A lot of fun. I'm still amazed at how they got that party, the block party, to work the way it did. Like, from the outside, like, I'm sure a lot of people looked at it as cheap, and in many ways compared to throwing a giant party it was. In the, like, stadium with a concert and everything. But what amazed me was it was the center of the gas lamp, and granted, one of the streets is at least already shut down to traffic, but they shut down the streets entirely to the party, closed down everything down the strip, and then, got all of the businesses to actually agree to join into this party. Which, I don't know if you've tried to work with organizing businesses. The idea that they got at least 10, if not many more restaurants in that 3-block strip to participate, much less okay it. I don't see that as a money-making... I don't know, maybe... I don't know how much Twitch paid them, but... I don't see that as a, like... That to me is an event that you do almost for the good publicity or for not being a bad sport as a business. It's not something you're doing to really make money. At best, you're hoping some of those people are going to come back to your restaurant again. I didn't mean to change the song. It's many things. Like, from the outside chat person who's not streaming, it's a chance to meet streamers and that sort of a thing. They do hold... I'm not really a fan of it, but they do hold the competitions and everything there live. But from a streamer perspective, they have lots of meetings where you can figure out things and learn things and network, not necessarily with the people that you're looking for as far as like, ooh, I gotta meet them or they're cool, but rather like useful people to meet. And at this point, and also as a streamer, it's a place to, if you want to try and find charities to work with or you're looking for tools or stuff to improve your stream, they're all there trying to sell it to you. And part of the reason that I enjoy it is going there not necessarily to be sold, but to see who's selling. Hey, Pizza. How you been? Happy Monday to you. Marketing, and I'm doubting that they're losing a lot of money doing it, considering it's not cheap. I mean, to a degree, Twitch is successful when streamers are successful, so to a degree, them putting it on to the benefit of streamers as a whole. It also allows a lot of other things that are beneficial. Like, if you're a big company sponsoring, your computer, PC market's dying, but if it wasn't, back a couple of years ago, you're a PC name, you're trying to get your name out there, you're going to market by working with a whole bunch of streamers and giving them computers. Do you want to mail all of those out, or you just want to go to an event and hand them to them? Almost cosmic. The problem we're coming up with here now is that for the major chip producers, there's one piece of cheese left over. I'm not making another one. AMD and Nvidia, it's not a profitable, like, you compare it to their other markets and their other margins, especially in the server market, the PC market isn't worth their time. Sort of sad. You also have a large part of the market moving to sorry, getting paper towels. You have market also moving towards ARM architecture in many ways. And yeah. But Intel totally screwed themselves. Well, actually, I certainly, like, they didn't screw themselves. They just didn't do the job. They're not keeping up. their most couple of their recent releases have had issues, and so like they're putting out chips and they're not really producing the benefits that they want, and actually people on the server end have been reverting back to version before. But there's two ways that Intel sort of screwed up. Is they didn't move to chiplets, which AMD is killing them on. And they could have gotten away with that. But then they didn't hold up their end of going to smaller architectures of their own. I think we're going to throw these in the freezer for a minute. Oh, dad joke. I read that one without realizing that it was the bot. There's also the problem with the PC market that we have, for the gaming market, a lot of people are on consoles or on Steam Deck, and we're having new versions and competing versions of Steam Deck coming out. And, I mean, a lot of people are working off of laptops or on tablets or off of their phone. Like, the market for having a PC is nowhere near where it was in the early 2000s and the 90s, where, your computer in your pocket wasn't anywhere as powerful as the one at home. I wish we could go back to the days like that. Like, I've yet to see the things that I really want out of a cell phone. Am I old? So we're going to sear some chicken breasts here too, because I have them chilling. I am going to... I guess I don't know what I want to do with the last of that rice. early computers were all designed with the idea that we were gonna... They were trying to do this with computers too, and cloud computing really didn't work out to be fast enough as I think they wanted it to be. But if you look at the history of computers, they used to always want to make them as like a central computing unit. And then you have terminals using that unit because economics, the same person's not going to be using it at the same time, sort of a thing. And it just ended up being cheaper, I think, for them to just mass produce CPUs, especially because the government wants to produce the technology, yada, yada, yada. And now I think we're getting to the point where, once again, it's not really making sense for us all to have a full-blown, top-of-the-line computer everywhere. Have I lost you all yet? Thank you for the follow. Arancini are fried balls of risotto or of rice, and in this case I'm stuffing them with mozzarella, or rather I've already stuffed them with mozzarella, and they're in the freezer. I am then going to bread them with panko and fry them. They're very commonly served as a semi-Italian restaurant, fine dining restaurant appetizer. And a great way of using up that leftover risotto that you didn't plan for. But I did plan for it. fan on over here. Salt and pepper on our chicken that we're going to dry off first. Because it was getting old and it was in the chicken. It was in the refrigerator. And so it needs to get cooked. So it's going to be chicken and arancini. I don't know the proper pronunciation. I'm not Italian. I wouldn't pronounce it properly anyways. Little garlic. Let's throw oil in the pan too. Well, I brought the sesame seeds, or the sunflower seeds, like I mentioned. I didn't really end up snacking on those much. I actually didn't, like, I had a couple of nice meals during TwitchCon, but I, for the most part, was just running around. Like, I didn't eat anything inside of the actual TwitchCon area. Not that anything in the area, the convention center, is cheap, but the food in the convention center is not cheap. The thing that I find probably the most sad about TwitchCon, and I didn't go to it because it was like a hike from where I was, like, the biggest organized food and drink party for TwitchCon was nowhere near TwitchCon. Like, it was not a part of TwitchCon. Like, they have the meetup area. Like, they have an area in TwitchCon that's entirely just, like, different meetups of random, like, East Coast meetup, West Coast meetup, IRL meetup, California meetup, like, you know, all the colors of the flag meetup sort of a thing. And food and drink. But then again, anyone who's got big numbers for food and drink skips food and drink for just chatting anyways. Oh, hey, I could show chat what I'm doing here with the chicken, couldn't I? Pinto, yeah, well, like I didn't even look at what the menu was as far as like the food areas. I know outside they had some company selling Grandma's Pizza. It looked along the lines of old elementary school pizza, where you have like an inch thick crust pizza with like a like dried on pizza sauce and barely any cheese. They had, I forget what one, but they had a very common pretzel and cookie company there that had stands all over the place. Of course, I also took all the leftover cookies and the broken ones that didn't fit in the bags, and so I had a thing of cookies with me the entire time, which I ended up leaving for housekeeping. Housekeeping got all the leftover cookies in the leftover cookie container, and all of the broken cookies. There was about 8 of them that broke in the bags when I was carrying them around trying to hand them out to people. Which is, good mental note. I gotta remember to do, if I do this again, I gotta do better paper packaging to protect them just slightly more than I did this time. And there's our ad. Hey subs, how you doing tonight? I probably shouldn't call y'all that. That doesn't sound very good, does it? Can't call you cult members, can't call you subs. Let's do a little of that action. Not quite enough color on that one on the left-hand side there. This one's gorgeous. That one needs more color. I also recommended, since I purposely stayed at a hotel right near the convention, because, as I mentioned before, there is a ton of walking. And so, like, I actually mentioned to the hotel, which had no grab and go, no packaged foods, no nothing at all, that, hey, maybe during like Comic-Con events like this, maybe you should set up a little stand and have some grab and go food so people can actually grab something worth eating. But that's one of many ways that we could have been doing this better. Like, TwitchCon could be better. I don't know why, like, with the stuff they're pulling for a block party, why we aren't having, like, actual live cook-offs. I already forgot what I said, Justice Rice. Oh. No. I actually mentioned it to their F&B of the hotel, which I happened to spot doing his nightly rounds. No, I gave the cookies to housekeeping. The guy that checked me, I gave him 2 cookies, I think, actually. I think I gave him a cookie when he checked me in. The same guy checked me out of the hotel room, so I think I gave him 2 cookies. And I gave him one to the security guard out front of the place. And I told him housekeeping had a ton more if he's in with them. offered one to the dude that was checking my bag too when I got there, but he didn't take it. Have a good one, Pendo. Thanks for hanging out. Alright, we're done with these bad boys. That one... I think we're good with carryover with that one. Oh. Sorry, camera. Sorry, camera watchers. Hi, Buns. Welcome, Shauna Vision. Hi, Ozzy. Wow, everyone's showing up now. What just stopped? Where are y'all coming from? What game just finished? Is that gonna flame for me? Flame for me. Guess not. Too much liquid. Dissolve in it. Arancini are fun, but they're like, they sort of ruin everything that's good about risotto. Well, take it from this perspective. The whole idea of risotto being it's this creamy, soft rice that we're then essentially chilling and solidifying so that we can fry it. We could have just started with rice. It's sort of like negating all of the work you've done to make it risotto. This is just a little pan gravy, because why not? You use cornstarch instead of a roux, though. Do you normally buy the pancake mix by itself? The reason I ask is, if you do, that's awesome. If you don't, it's probably better to just use some flour and baking soda. So we got oil heating up over on the stove now for our arancini. Need to set up our frying station for that now. Starting with flour. It truly shows, like, I don't mean to, well, it shows how much the prepared foods industry has a stranglehold on at least America. where you are by far not the only one in chat that I've talked to, Froggy, that doesn't have flour. I mean, I've got like 4 or 5 different types of flour. Oh, okay. But, and aside from that, like I said, you were not... This is not the first time we've had the, I didn't have flour. And like I said, it just goes, like, there's so many things that you can depend upon in this grocery store instead of flour these days. Sort of like the conversation I was having before about computers. PCs getting almost sort of outdated. I'm also certain there's a ton of stuff that's different for me because I'm a single dude living alone. I'm not in a multi-person household. I'm not, you know... So they're not completely solid, but they're a little more solidified from sitting in the freezer for a little bit. That's 2 for 2 I screwed up on the eggs, chat. We're not getting too hot over here, are we? Oh, we're doing okay. I did in this case, toys. That has not been the case in the past. Ooh. Hello, Raiders. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining in. How are you doing tonight? Doing tonight? Chat? What were we making dinner with, Mom? Where are we coming from, everyone? Crafting. Don't you normally craft beautiful food? I am turning last night's stream's wild mushroom risotto into arancini balls. I've sauteed a little chicken and made a quick chicken gravy, and now we're getting down to the actual nitty-gritty of our frying. We got oil on the stove around 300 degrees. show chat the stove as well. I was just talking about that before, Toys. I'm sort of torn on them. And yes, fried balls of rice and cheese are a delicious thing. And risotto is a delicious thing. But much of the work you do to create a risotto is sort of lost in what arancini are. And I was just sort of like, there's no reason that we have to be using risotto here. Where did I put 2 boxes of panko? They have to be staring me in the face, and I just don't. Oh, they're hidden back here. Okay. At least I have that excuse. They weren't right in front of me. I bought them today. I should know where they're at. I feel like this is so zoomed in these days on my cutting board from the way it used to be. There's no bullion shilling here. How hot we getting? This is smelling hot. Ooh, yeah, we're getting toasty here. Let's throw these first 3 in. I have much more of an appreciation for Marco than I do for Gordon. But yeah. What is MPW Marco Pierre White? He was an 80s celebrity chef and got all sorts of stars before Michelin stars before giving them up. I really like his definition for why he gave them up too. His definition of why he gave up his stars, like, I can see that. Like, after being around for a bit, his description of why he gave them up was creating the 3-star restaurant was a bit like building your dream car. This is a very loose version of his quote. Was like building your dream car. Keeping your stars was like maintaining a Rolls Royce. Well, let's be realistic about it too. Like, he was not breeding an environment where people were going to want to stay there and be his under guy. Like, they were going through hell so they could do it themselves. And so like the scene with the chipotle powder in Kitchen Confidential is very much what I would sort of expect of his undercooks. You should tell Twitch that. Yeah, this isn't the best thing. We need some paper towel for this. My problem with that statement, Toys, is that if you look at the top food content creators on Twitch, they aren't there because they're good food creators. Not that I am saying that I'm, like, yeah. I should have joined one of these challenges and gotten knocked out by Gordon Ramsay in the first 3 rounds. Just so that it helps my streaming career. Right, chat? Well, that's happened twice. That's why I was saying that. Wait until I break one of them open and show you the oozy mozzarella in the center. I never cover anything as far as burners. I just don't really have a good place to keep all my pans. Like, I've got them stacked up over there, I've got them under there, I've got them over there. There's too many. There's too many. Yeah, those are supposed to be drip trays on mine. Like I've mentioned before, I've got sheets of Teflon underneath there, which is wonderful for everything other than oils or liquids that get underneath there. Turn the oven on, but just to a keep warm temp. So we can keep these lovelies warm. Touch the side of the pan there. Don't recommend that. If I had like unlimited funds, I don't know what I would get, because yeah, you look at those ones in 5-star restaurants, like 3-star Michelin but 5-star otherwise restaurants, like the a $500,000, $250,000 ranges that have got like 6 stations to them, and like picking between salamanders, broilers, flat tops, and regular gas ranges. Well, steam and microwave, or good. I mean, after all, I'm still working with it. Now, I think I've covered this before, Michael, when you've been around. You have conventional ovens, which is what I'm using, what I have, what most Americans have. You have convection ovens, which have a fan in them. And then you have air fryers, which take use of 3D modeling and positioning the fan and everything to create a proper air chamber so that that fan is actually effective in the oven. And so for anyone else tuning in, yes, your air fryer is just a second or third oven that you bought. I definitely want one of those like press and twist kneading machines, and also want would love a extruder, or not an extruder, but a lamination machine. It was lobster mushrooms, not lobster. Which is mostly named because their flesh looks very similar to that of cooked lobster. It's sort of a combination of a deep red with white blotches. We're going to throw all of these lovelies down in the oven to keep warm. And the other thing that most Americans have no clue exists, but like every European kitchen I've ever seen has, and is great for making risotto, by the way. And I can't remember the name of it, but they have a machine that is capable of essentially chopping like a food processor, light kneading abilities. I wouldn't put anything heavy in there, and can heat and chill the bowl. It's like a countertop device, so like you could throw all the stuff in there for your risotto, have it chop it up, toss in the rice in the stock, and then have it heat up and constantly stir. Like it's a beast of a machine for like at the home, and I have no clue why they have not invaded the U.S. market, other than they probably haven't won the patent laws, patent rules. Well, there's one brand and one specific one in particular that I've seen all over the place in Europe professional kitchens. It looks a little bit like a triangle wedge with a bowl in the center bowl that locks into the center of it. I don't know off the top of my head if that's the right one I'm thinking of or not. They aren't cheap either, but I mean, granted, for what they're offering, they could do essentially anything a single person would need for being in their home. Oh, no worries, Michael. You're cool. I have not had the greatest day, and in exchange, I think I'm maybe being a little unfair on chat tonight. I apologize if I'm being a little bit annoying tonight. Went a little too heavy on the egg here tonight. You got an extra egg or two left over there. Too much flour too, but Toket, that's not the exact, or, Toys, that wasn't the exact one. Yeah, it's a Thermomix, is the name. The Toket looks very similar, but it's not the same one that I was thinking of. Well, yeah, but I mean, when you compare that to the fact that it can cook and cool things, for a single person in a single residence, you compare that to an oven, you compare that to you buy yourself a little studio without anything built into it, and you're looking to be cheap. I'm actually astonished at why, like, there's a lot of stuff about European cookware that is better than American, and it sort of irks me that we don't get it. Like, a fair amount of refrigerators in European kitchens look like they're just a part of the cabinetry. Whereas here in the US, they're, giant big box. Giant big box. Yeah, toys. Yeah, and what's even more sad is they have other toys that you don't really see in the common market that I think the common person would appreciate over a giant box. Like, I've worked in some very nice kitchens where, like, you'll have this in restaurants where they'll have pull-out drawers that are refrigerated, but usually they're like extremely heavy-duty, like stainless steel. I've worked in a couple of very nice kitchens in the past that had ones that were built into the woodwork that, like, yeah. American kitchens could be better. I got a jar of pizza sauce here that I'm going to use. I'm going to warm up. I'll get something to drink here in a second, Buns. Thank you for the hydrate. I haven't drank anything all stream, chat, other than coffee. What are you looking at, camera? What's so exciting with the ceiling? Huh? That might be part of it, Toys. Or at least mentality behind it. Not that we actually have all this extra space. Orders of operation. What do we do first? Germany's got some interesting, like, they have some interesting concepts around business and all that I in ways admire. The whole idea behind taxing for buying something new versus getting it repaired. And putting the warmed up pizza sauce into a bowl here for serving. Yep, I saw that the ads were firing, so I'm not doing anything too crucial right now. Or rather, I heard, because I have an alert now. You're awesome, chat. Thank you for hanging out with me, even if I'm being a big grump tonight and complaining about everything anyone brings up. Thanks, JK. So now that we're back from our ad, hopefully. I don't know if this was a part of the ad time or not, but I took some pizza sauce and warmed that up. Let's see what these things are like. Let's break into one of these bad boys. See if we get a cheese pull here. No, we just got oozy cheese. Got a little bit of a cheese pull. Yum. Cheesy. and warm. Mine. Chad always wants my balls. I'm not so sure. Well, I haven't seen if they've dumbed down their own products, but I don't trust any of the new products that they're like. They just started developing so many new products all at once as soon as they got bought, and that makes me worried that they got bought and the new company's just pumping out a bunch of stuff that isn't nearly as tested, nearly tried and true as their original products. There we go, folks. There we have our arancini, our cheesy rice balls, which they're a mouthful. And so that brings tonight's fun to a close, at least on our stream. I hope you've had a great time hanging out tonight. Let's see if we can't keep the party going tonight. All right, chat. I'm going to leave it there. Want to thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I feel like I was a grump tonight. I'm sorry if I was grouchy. I'm sorry. Back here on Wednesday. What are we doing on Wednesday? Which one won? What do we have for an ingredient challenge on Wednesday? We have pork rinds on Wednesday. So I'm going to have to make dinner and dessert using pork rinds on Wednesday. Hope you come back to join me for that. After that, we've got chicken and egg tacos on Friday. And then a corn, chicken, and potatoes chowder on Sunday. Recipe for the chowder on Sunday is in the Discord in the recipes channel. If you want to cook along. I hope you all have an amazing evening. Thank you for joining in, and good night.